So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-service meditation for Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. My name is Frank Matthew. I am a licensed practitioner with the Center. I'll be leading the meditation this morning. The service today is the Truthful Section 3, so I tailored this meditation around spiritual truths. So I invite you to simply release into the presence of where you are. Get comfortable. Simply allowing everything else to just give everything a rest. Allow your mind to be free right here in the moment. Knowing that nothing needs done right now except you sitting there in your chair, breathing slowly, breathing deeply, knowing that each breath is the breath of God coming in. And that with each breath, you're being nourished. Your lungs are being filled, your body, the brain is receiving the oxygen, the whole body is being rejuvenated with each breath. And knowing this, what is the truth of God? What is the spiritual truth? We know that God is, we know that the presence of God is everywhere. We know that spirit, divine guidance is omnipresent. It cannot be separated into pieces. It's the totality of all that is. It is the only life, the one life. It exists as a cell. Within it exists us. It exists you, your sacred self, your true purpose, meaning, calling is your soul's desire. Knowing that spirit shows up as nature, the trees, waves, birds in the trees, all the animals of the world that we know of, and within potential lies more. This presence is, since everything is enveloped within the presence of spirit, it has no choice but to be everywhere at the same time. It cannot not be somewhere. It must be, by definition, in every situation. Sitting here right now, spirit is with us. We exist as spirits right here now. Our relationships. Spirit exists within each party of each relationship. And more. Spirit exists within that space between what we'll call two individuals, but actually are just really individualizations of the one spirit. Knowing that from that perspective, that spirit is even that space between. Spirit is the words. Spirit is the understanding. Spirit is the medium of the knowing that is when we are at work, Spirit is with us. It's just the nature of all the way things are. It's a truth. It's a spiritual truth that God is Spirit. It's the universal love. It's everywhere at the same time. Knowing that there is nothing other than Spirit. Knowing that only God is manifested as everything. Everything is spiritual. So accepting that we are bathing within and encompassed by the universal love. We can also know that not only is it immanent in creation, but it's also transcendent too. Everything is spiritual. So while everything we see, hear, and understand is our experience, we know that's not all. We know that the answers, the divine unfolding, divine involvement, is always there. Is always not pushing, but available and designed to be expressed in every situation. That perfect understanding, perfect word, that perfect action, that perfect idea of how Spirit desires to express itself as you, as me. Know that that is always there. And that within that, the guidance of Spirit is innate within us. We know God is everywhere, it must be within us, and within us it gives us that divine instruction book of how we are to engage with God, how we are to experience, explore. It allows us to find joy in simply being true to who we are. And that truth to who we are is a spiritual truth. That is the knowingness allows us to be that person who is designed to be releasing judgment, releasing anything that would restrict the expression of our true self. Celebrating each one of you, celebrating myself. Celebrating the joy as it's flowing through each one. Allowing the ever-presence of divine love to be in life. Allowing the all-knowing, omniscient part of God that knows the instructions, knows the potential of expression, that knows each one of our desires. Allowing it to redirect our compass to what we really see. Not to what on the surface what may be tainted with restriction and judgment, but allowing that Spirit to simply guide us in being truly authentic to ourselves, to those around us in all situations. Trusting But under the surface of everything is the truth unfolding, is the love of God unfolding for the good of its own evolution. Allowing that fullness to just sweep over you. Allowing your body, your awareness to simply hover within, supported within, floating, embraced, comforted. Knowing that the answer is always there. Divine guidance is always present. He always knows that perfect answer, that perfect solution for whatever it is. Grateful for knowing that answer is there. So not only is one, or another aspect of God is that it is omnipotent, the all-powerful one God, having unlimited power, able to do anything, aligning our consciousness with the omnipotence of spirit, of that one love. There are no restrictions to the healing nature of spirit. What goes against its very own nature cannot do. So I know that right here, right now, spirit is. Spirit knows. The spirit does. The healing within me, within you, within anyone. In everything. It's in the healing of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's in the healing that it's done with the opposition to. Knowing that the right words are there, the right ways of communication are there, and knowing that the understanding on each side is occurring. It's all God. There's nothing to fear. We're not talking to somebody coming more than someone else. We're not talking, but we're certainly not accepting somebody being less than someone. You're all the creation of spirit. The truth is, we're all God in truth. Sitting with that full power and presence of spirit. Not forcing it to try to force it to do anything, but simply allowing it to play with that consciousness, right? Your consciousness. Feeling safe. Feeling powerful. Knowing that we are an outlet for this divine love. There's no place where divine love cannot improve that situation. We know there is no place where divine love is not present. envisioning your home, your body filled with this divine love, envisioning the energy expanding out of your room, throughout your home, into your family members, roommates, partners, radiating out of your house. Joining the other houses which are in the same process with this energy of divine love, seeing other houses lighting up in your neighborhood. Seeing the whole planet. Radiating divine love. Impelled by love. Spirit is compelled to create God's love through us, through you. I celebrate your choice to be a part of this divine involvement. Mm. So they have our soul, their consciousness, their awareness, and the truth of spirit and its unfoldment with its potential, with its possibilities, with its power to heal anything. Know with me now, know that the truth is in all situations, and that God is always. I practice the presence of God in all I think, say, and do. I live in the awareness that there is one universal spiritual system, called God, called Spirit, whichever name, that is impelled by love. We know that it is always creating through the universal law, the universal soul, the soul of the universe. It's always active. We don't need to wonder if our answers to our questions are being answered, if our prayers are being answered. Of course, they're going into the always open ear, the always open awareness, presence, sense of the divine one. So we recognize the good, the evolutionary good of spirit, which is inherent in all experiences of our experiences. Despite otherwise interpreting perceptions, we know that within every experience, it's an unfoldment of divine love. So we trust that Spirit is always present, always has that perfect solution. And brings it forth through our alignment with these divine truths. So knowing that this place that we've found is nothing extraordinary. It's simply the truth of who we are. The truth of who you are. And that this state of consciousness is always within us. This is the truth of who we are. Breathing into this awareness, breathing out and unneeded thanks to you. Just allowing these truths to be known and be expressed through us. The joy in our hearts, joy in our soul, joy in our words, joy in our ears, joy in our touch, true authentic joy. As me, as you, as each one of us, as a group. Breathing deeply. Allowing yourself to notice the air coming in and out of your nose, and the air temperature around you on your skin. Notice your weight in the chair, the bed, the room. Allowing yourself to become more in tune with the physical surroundings. Learn that the spiritual truths are always there. And when you're ready, open your eyes, bring yourself back to the room. Know that you are loved. Namaste.
Good morning, Baltimore and beyond. I'm Celia Farron, and I'd like to do a song for you called Surrender. Surrender, surrender, surrender. Surrender. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly, if happy little bluebirds fly, if happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm still jamming. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm still jamming. Yeah. Okay, let me not ruin what y'all just heard.
Thank you.
Don't hate, and
Leave the music to the professionals.
That's what I was doing. I was professionaling.
Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Reverend Ray. And good morning, CSL Greater Baltimore virtual service participants. Oh, all right, okay, it's time to get serious. Now, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. It's me, Tracy Rhymes, and I am serving as your host today. Yes, it's going to be one of those days. He already has his head just leaning down saying, y'all pray for me. I'm going to tell you what he's saying already. Now, our speaker for today is our senior minister, the awesome Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson. Later, he will deliver a thought-provoking, homework-filled message. Frank Matthew, who is usually holding it down behind the scenes, is our practitioner on duty. And that amazing voice you just heard, Celia Farron, is our guest musician. Celia, I think I said that right. Celia Farron is our guest musician. Our sign language interpreters are Faith Moore and Sonia Chattis. I always say her last name wrong. I'm sorry, Sonia. They are assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community. If only y'all could see his face right now. Whew. Now, before Frank grounds us in prayer, let me share a few things about him. Frank is a web designer, developer who helps small businesses establish and maintain their presence on the web. He lives and works from his home in Silver Run, Maryland. Before starting All One Web Solutions in 2015, Frank worked 20 years as an engineering and computer technician for the Maryland State Highway Administration. He has been a student of New Thought since 2009 and became a licensed religious science practitioner, happy anniversary, in July 2019. Frank is available for private practitioner sessions or prayer and is reachable at frank@cslgreattobaltimore.org. Thank you, Reverend Ray. I give you Frank.
Good morning, everyone. I'm looking at this image that Tracy found somewhere and realized I got to get some better images. But I look excited about something. I don't know what it is. Here's what I know. Right here, right now, within this ever-loving presence of all these individuals coming together, that it is God expressing itself today. And as we can tell with Tracy's energy, that it is going to be one of joy, one of celebration, one of recognition of just how joyful life is, just how present Spirit is always with us. So recognizing that God must be here this morning, is here, it's just the nature of its being is to be everywhere. Being everything, it must be everywhere. So knowing that it's right here, right now, knowing that it shows up as each one of us, as it shows up as Tracy with her high energy, bringing everyone up this morning, knowing that it shows up with Selena's music and coming through it and through those vibrations of drumming and musical voice, and just knowing that it's all there, knowing that it shows up as our technical support, knowing that it shows up as our with myself, knowing that it shows up through me as a practitioner, knowing that it shows up as Rev Red, knowing that as we hold his sacredness within our hearts, his divineness within our hearts, that it comes through him, and that it is joy that comes through, and that he nurtures his own soul as he nurtures ours. Knowing that this is happening right here, right now, knowing that it's happening in this place, as we dive into spiritual truths, we align ourselves with this ever-present, divine, loving presence. So knowing this is so, from this space, we release into the law, so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Frank. So now we will honor the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. With the lighting of these candles on the first Sunday of each month, we not only honor each person on their select path, but we also bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life-affirming nature of Spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person. Okay, we have a few announcements for you. Ready?
Yes.
All right. Thursday night study group facilitated by licensed practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. I heard it's on fire. What? Yep. So if you haven't, check it out. It's a perfect opportunity to dive deeper into the Sunday messages delivered by Reverend Dr. Ray and others. So, for more information, what you do is you contact Dr. Ronnie at SISTERRNIE AOL.com. Love offerings are appreciated. Now, to ensure that you get the information you need, put in your subject line CSLGB study group. That way she will definitely be able to identify your email. All right, moving right along. Are you interested in joining a CSL Greater Baltimore book club? What? You are? Okay, so here's what you do. You contact Nancy Rosenberg for additional information. Check this out. You just dial her direct, 410-356-7600. Got it? Write it down.
And as a reminder, the first book to be studied and discussed is Sacred Contracts.
Sacred Contracts, first book to be discussed. Now, okay, I threw myself off. CSLGB's applying SOMNS, Science of Minds and Spirituality. Said that right? What is
Science of Mind and Spirit.
Science of Mind and Spirit. I got that all jacked up, but that's okay. Applying Science of Mind and Spirit to heal the dis-ease of racism. They will gather to discuss and act on practical applications of the teachings to heal the dis-ease of racism. For more information, you contact Lisa Rawlings or Reverend Dr. Ray. Membership is belonging. Do you ever want to belong? I was about to go into a commercial. Never mind. Anyway, belonging, connection, and spiritual growth. That's what membership is. Any time is a good time to become a member or renew your current membership. See, it's just that easy. You can now do so virtually, so you have no excuse for waiting. The Discovery class is available virtually. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org for additional information. Now, sign up for CSLGB newsletter. Why? Why and why? So you can stay informed about classes, gatherings, virtual meetings that I host, at least one of them, this one, and other life-changing happenings in your CSLGB community. What you need to do is just visit www.cslgreaterbaltimore.org for more information. Okay, y'all, know what today is. Board meeting today. Everyone is encouraged to attend if at all possible. This way, you can stay informed and find ways you, yes, you, may be able to serve with such things as the new building search committee, community service, and social event planning. There's plenty for you to do. Today, check us out. Join us. Okay, you know the routine.
Prayer works!
Say it again.
Prayer works!
One more time.
I said prayer. Prayer. It works!
Woo! That's right. Y'all heard it from your very own voice behind the mic. Prayer works. So we, as a community, continue to treat, and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Practitioners are available after today's service, and prayer requests can be sent at any time. Say it with me, at any time. He was a little late, but that's okay. He mouthed it. Y'all can't see him. What you do is you send your prayer request to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. musician today is Celia Farron. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Celia travels the globe with her inspirational music, comedy, and sound healing. She has opened for notable authors Neil Donald Walsh, Marianne Williamson, Dr. Masuru Emoto, and hopefully I didn't butcher his name up too much, Donna Eden, and Swami Vivekananda. Marianne Williamson, author of A Return to Love, says Celia's music calls women to their glory and men to their hearts. Woo! Ricky Byers says Celia Farron owns the stage. Now, if you want to learn more about her, visit her at www.CeliaOnline.com. I give you Celia.
Good morning from Phoenix. It's so wonderful to be back with you all, bright and early. The song is called Your Soul Already Knows, and I wrote it for my friend Judith, who lives in Newfoundland, Canada. You are pure potential, yearning to express. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Connect to your soul's wisdom, let go of the rest. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Oh, trust your beautiful soul. Let go. Let your life's light shine you home. You are a blessing made for miracles. You are so dear. You are important and your soul is welcome here. Happiness and peace reside within your heart. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. You have the courage to take action, the clarity to start. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Oh, I trust your beautiful soul. Let go. Let your light's light shine home. You are a blessing made for miracles. You are so dear. You are important and your soul is welcome here. Trust your beautiful
That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for waking up early and blessing us. Whew. Okay. So now, Frank will lead us in a spiritual practice.
That was beautiful, Celia. Thank you. Wow, when you started singing harmony with yourself, it blew my mind. It was awesome. Perfect time in the song. Your souls needed you. And it really resonates. I hope everyone else believes that too about themselves. So today, our topic is, the truth will set you free. And I'm sure we'll go into what is truth. I'm talking spiritual truth. So I found something written by the Laity Council of CSL, which goes into to different aspects of interacting and relating with the truth. And I'd like to do that. But first, just take a deep breath. Slow down, relax. Relax your body. Allow your chair to support you. All is well. When we talk spiritual truths, we are talking about the always present, the all-knowing, and the all-powerful divine love that is expressing itself as all life. To achieve the ability of the truths within those aspects, we must remember who we are. The truth of who we are. From the moment our physical birth to the moment we transition back to the infinite, the world tries to tell us what is real. Our eyes try to tell us, our ears try to tell us, our touch, our perception tries to tell us what's real. There's a continued push to try to make us believe that we see it and what we hear around us is the truth, including the human reactions of fear, anger, resentment, powerlessness. These are not truth. It's through our work of spiritual practice that we connect with Source, God, Spirit, the One, and only ever-abiding Spirit that runs through us, in us, as us. It's the truth. It's a commitment to continually peeling back the layers of the spiritual onion that allows us to see the truth. It lies beneath every experience, within, below, without. The truth is that we are not our bodies, our education, our job, our weight, our color, our gender identity, our age, or any other label. That is not the truth of who we are. It's the acknowledgement of and acceptance of our one shared soul that allows us to know the truth of ourselves. Being in that union, that awareness of the inseparateness. We are divine spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all there is, and we are not divided but God, but rather a vessel for change and for good as God. The universe is always conspiring for our higher good. Knowing this truth, we are then able to walk through this world without fear, seeing divine love that is flowing in every moment towards our very best purpose. So it's from this place that we listen today to the message from Reverend Ray. It's from this place that we emanate our energy and our love throughout the connection with each other here today on this Zoom call. Our connection within the truth, that we're never separate. It's from this place that we have our way, our being. And here, on a deeper level, as Reverend Ray shares with us his insights and his experiences with spiritual truths, so, and how that can free us from those limiting thoughts, behaviors. So, from this place, breathing deeply, allowing your awareness to shift back to your chair, to your room, and embrace the talk from Reverend Ray.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, so let me share a little bit about Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson. He is the senior minister of CSL Greater Baltimore. He has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and him, and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Active stands for authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. I was honored to call him brother, friend, teacher, and minister, because I can just imagine what he's doing behind my head right now. I am really still honored to give you Reverend Dr. Ray. It is lovely hat.
Yes, it is a rather lovely hat, which I would like to, I have to call out that my daughter-in-law, who is currently watching, fashionably gave me this yesterday. So thank you, Ty, I appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and take it off for now, for the moment now. So, yeah, today's going to be a day, because we got Intervisions in the house. What? Showing up in full force, ladies, come on!
Come on, ladies!
We got my son, my daughter-in-law, the grandkids in the house. We got Anna Victoria in the house from UBB. Like, we got folks.
Yes!
We haven't seen Henry, and we got Henry in the house. Like, we got a full family present today.
It's a family affair.
And she had to sing, didn't she? So let's move on. Let's go into today's topic. I'm moving right along. So yeah, as Frank mentioned, today's theme is this idea that the truth will set you free. And we've heard it before, but I would like for us to dive a little bit deeper into what that potentially can mean for us on this spiritual path. So principle or precedent. Which is the governing factor in how we live and how we show up in the world? Which one is it? Do we allow it to be principle, spiritual law, or precedent? What was must be and always will be, because it's business as usual. Which narrative do we go by? The truth will set you free is about more than talking the talk. It has to be about walking the walk. Like, that's what it really has to be. So in order to do that, we've got to start off with a couple of questions, such as, what is true of you? If I were to ask you, actually I'm going to, for those of you who right now have the ability to type something into the chat box, share what is true of you. And it has to be a high level truth, not a lower T truth. Capital T truth. The unchanging, immutable truth of your beingness that never changes. It's the truth that can never die, cannot be weakened, cannot be destroyed, cannot be separated from the divine. What is that truth of you? As soon as Tracy tells me that at least one person types something, I'm going to the next slide. I'm not moving until y'all type something. Somebody better share something.
My truth is love as me. Nothing could ever separate me from the love of God. I am God's desire to be expressed as M.
Okay? So here's this idea that if that is the truth of love, holiness, the divine showing up, whatever it is that you are infinite beauty, not beauty the way humans determine beauty because of Revlon or Max Factor or whoever, not because of Cosmopolitan or whoever magazine, not beauty because of that, but beauty because what you are is the universe expressing itself, as you, as the gender you are, as the gender identity you are, as the color that you are, as the everything that you are must be beautiful because it is God expressing itself in, through, and as you. And if that's what you're anchoring to, then the question then becomes, how often do you declare and live that truth? If you know that you are love, how often do you declare and live from that truth? If you know that you are powerful because you are infinite power itself, living, moving, and having its beingness as you, how often do you live and declare that as the truth of your being? Not just that it's true for you, but that it's true of you. There's a very clear distinction that we often muddle and get mixed up because we think, well, okay, so I'm powerful, but I'm not power. I'm beautiful, or I can be beautiful, but I'm not beauty. But why are you not beauty expressing itself as that which is beautiful? Why are you not power expressing itself as that which is powerful? Why are you not the divine expressing yourself as infinite divinity? You are infinite holiness expressing yourself as sacred. We often think of God being in us, but not being us. We separate rather than living it as an everyday thing in the same way that we live our names every day. You know, I don't wake up one morning and like, hey, Ray, wait a minute, whoa. No, I'm Tracy. I'm Tracy. Hey, Ray. Hey, no, you're messing with me. I'm Ray and you're Tracy. Like, we don't do that. We don't wake up one morning and forget who we are we don't do that. I wake up every day and I know that I'm Ray. So why not wake up every day and know that I am God? Why not wake up every day and know that I am powerful? Why not wake up every day and know that you are love itself? Why not wake up every day and know that you are infinite potentiality, living, moving, and having its beingness as you, and that nothing can stand in your way? Why not wake up to that truth every day? We wake up every day and we breathe. Why not wake up every day and breathe that truth, anchoring into that divine reality 24/7? And oftentimes we do it because there's something that we're not in alignment with, but we'll get to that in a minute. We know that there is one God, indestructible, absolute, pure love. This one manifests itself in, through, and as all creation. So if it does that, then it has to be exactly what each one of us is. Science of Mind and Spirit believes in individualization of the Spirit as us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. So the very center of God is every single human being. The very center of God is every single blade of grass. The very center of God is every grain of sand. The very center of God is every brick. The very center of God is every leaf, every tree, every duck, every dog, every hair. The very center of God is all there is. There is not a possibility of being on the fringe of God, being on the outside of the inside of God. There is no outside to God. God is all there is. And so what it is, each one of us must be. From this truth, we know that we are all connected and cared for, not just by this Spirit, this divine power, but as this divine Spirit, power, and source. God is caring for itself as us. As we return to this knowing and reconnection with God as an indwelling and all-dwelling presence, our lives become free from all discord. In essence, we are already free. But what we are doing is shaking loose the paradigms that convince us that we are not. We are shaking free the systemic issues that show up in the world that deny people breath, that deny people freedom. When we get into alignment with that which is the absolute truth, we change the world. So, how many of y'all know what this is? Like, I'm sure on some level you've seen this before. The three wise monkeys, or as Keith Haring puts it, with the three, I don't know what those, the three blobs, I don't know what those are. But they're wise because they're doing what the monkeys do. And here's this idea. So we see, hear, speak, know. If I ask you to complete that sentence, what do we typically say? Type it in the chat box. See, hear, speak, know what? Finish the sentence.
Evil.
Evil, right. But check this out. What if that's not what it really is? What if it's see, hear, speak, know? Like, then what does it become? So instead of see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, see and know, speak and know, hear and know. What changes when you are now from this place of infinite knowing, I see the world? From this place of infinite knowing, I speak what I know. From this place of infinite knowing, I am only able to hear truth. What changes for us when we anchor into this level of awareness? Just saying. Marinate on that for a minute. So we all have this somewhere in our homes or apartments. We have a thermometer which reads the temperature, and a thermostat which sets the temperature. But the thermometer which reads is precedent. All it is doing is reporting what's showing up. Whereas principle, spiritual law, sets things into motion. Which one of these are we governing our lives by? Are we simply the thermometer that says, oh man, things is horrible. This world is bad. My grandmother said, I'm going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know what a handbasket is except the thing a little Easter bunny carries. I can't sit in the handbasket. I don't even know what she's talking about. She crazy though. But she got the good candies in her purse when we go to church, so I love her. Like, that's a thermometer. Thermometer gossips. Thermometer reports the world news. Today, in the world, it's the same old, misery. The same old, heat and more heat. The same old, political corruption. The same old, business as usual. That's precedent. What was must continue to be, because that's the way it is written into the constitution of my mind. I've always been a victim. I've always been an addict. I've always been an abused child. I've always been sad, shy, depressed. I've always been miserable, lonely, afraid. And because that is what I've always been, precedent says it's what I have to continue to be. Principle says, oh, no. At any moment when you change your mind, change your paradigm, change your consciousness, then your world must change as well. You turn the knob, and Tracy reminded me that this is extremely old because everything's digital. Siri, make the temperature 82.5. No. What did you just... Right now we can talk to the smart house and the smart house does it. But the thing is, when we speak it changes. When we speak truth, when I stop speaking about myself as lack and limitation driven, and I speak about myself as abundance and prosperity driven, principle says yes. And the universe conspires to demonstrate it. So the choice is, do we continue to live simply recording what was, or do we start changing our experience of what we want it to be? Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind, there is one power in the universe and we can use it. Yes. And check this out. I added my own little addendum. There is one power in the universe and we can use it more consciously. Why can we use it more consciously? Because we are already using it. Every thought you think is tapping into that power. Every belief that you hold is tapping into that power. Everything that you are is this power in expression. Remember, there is only that which God is, and if that which God is what you are, then every time you make coffee, it's God making coffee using the laws of, Maxwell House principle number 7.2. This amount of water, this amount of coffee grinds makes a delicious pot of coffee. I don't know, but there's a law to scrambling eggs, and every time you create, you are involving the creative process. I don't care if you're making toast. I don't care if you're making jello. I don't care if you're making a game where you put things on the floor so you don't step on the lava. I don't care what you're creating. It's the creative process, meaning you are engaging the very creative nature of what God is as you to create. And we are always doing it. So why not do it more consciously, more purposefully, more directly, so that we experience life on our terms and not on someone else's terms, not on toxic people's terms, not on racist people's terms, not on sexist people's terms, not on the homophobes' terms, not on the neo-Nazis' terms, not on any of their terms, but on the terms that we have chosen as the divine emanation and incarnation of the one power and presence, infinite good, love itself. Why not live based on that? One of the things we say in our teaching, there is nothing to heal. Anybody know the next part of this? There is nothing to heal, or there is nothing that needs to be healed. Only, anybody, Tracy, anybody type it in?
No one typed it yet.
I'm going to give you 3 seconds.
3,
2,
2, 1.
Anybody?
They typed it slow.
Okay, they typed it slow.
They typed it slow. Revealed.
Right, so there's nothing to heal, only truth to be revealed. Right? That's what we say. So you don't need to heal, quote unquote. You don't need to heal disease or illness. You don't need to heal poverty. You don't need to heal racism. You don't need to heal anything is the concept. Because once you reveal the truth of whatever it is, then the healing, quote unquote, the healing is a natural byproduct. It is the natural outcome of. In the same way, 2 + 2 = 4. 4 is the natural outcome of this mathematical equation. When you reveal the truth, the natural mathematical scientific outcome of it must be healing. And yet, before we go there, there's the question. But what about,
What about?
disease, poverty, grief, betrayal, racism, etc.? Like, what about those? How do I get to the truth of such things as these? Like, how do I get to the truth about disease so that the disease shifts? How do I get to the truth about poverty so that it shifts? How do I get to the truth about any of this so that it shifts?
How?
First step is, Tracy said, how? First step is, let's listen to Reverend Dr. Eric Butterworth, who said, the great need in life for all of us is not so much to achieve the ability to set all things right, but to gain the perception to see them rightly. When we shift our ability to see what is right, when we shift our ability to see truth, then truth is what we see. Truth is what happens. Truth is what begins to demonstrate and manifest. See, for as long as I look at my bank account and what I'm seeing is there are low numbers. There are really no numbers. I want more. It's 2 digits before the decimal point. That's not enough. How do I fix it? How do I make it so it's more before the decimal point? I want it to be something and a comma and then some numbers in a decimal point. How do I fix it? How do I set it right? No. See it rightly. See yourself as infinite abundance. See yourself as that which God is, as infinite source, sourcing itself, and then you become the infinite flow of. And then the numbers take care of themselves. But for as long as we try to fix ourselves, or fix the numbers, or fix the thing, whatever, then we are focusing on the thing, rather than focusing on the truth, rather than focusing on the creative process that changes the thing. So how do we begin to shift our beliefs about a thing? How do we begin to shift our perceptions about our lives? How do we begin to shift our understanding of? We start asking a different level of question. What in my life is out of alignment? If anything. What is being ignored or denied? Is there something in my life that I am ignoring or denying? How do I feel about this particular experience? How do I want to feel about it? How do I want to experience it? Who do I choose to be in the midst of it? And what is mine to do? These are just some of, and notice, none of these are asking why. Why am I out of alignment? Why do I feel so bad about being poor? Why do I not understand? Like why? We're not asking why. Why for this it's irrelevant. Because why is not going to fix anything, right? Why, but why? So as soon as you say this is why, we think, that's the answer, yes. And then we try to run about our business and no. You got to identify what's the problem. You don't say, why is 2 + 2 equals why? Why does it equal 4? Well, because that's the mathematics. But why? Why? Because that's what kids do. Sorry, Katai and Nation, Cressy. It's what kids do. Y'all ask questions that we adults can't. Why is the sky blue? Because it's blue. Why is grass green? Why is the mermaid's tail purple? Why am I going shopping 6 times in a row? Kids ask why. So we're not asking why, we're asking what. What and how and who. Because they can be more, Tracy's laughing at me right now, because they are more empowering. So we ask the questions, and then from this, we start changing the perception about what's going on in our lives, right? Until we change the perception, nothing changes. I think it was Wayne Dyer who said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. For example, if I were to ask you, which child is real? Right? Which child is real? And I know on first glance, you may want to say one of them is real, but that's not actually accurate. Both of them are real. That one is a real reflection. The reflection is real. So the experience, while may not be true, the experience is real, the condition is real. It is real that there are 2 numbers before the decimal point in the bank account. That's real. The illusion is, the reflection is, somewhere am I coming from a place of scarcity and lack? is it because I'm out of alignment? In what way am I out of alignment? Where is the out of alignment showing up? So down here we have a Bible verse, which we're going to get into, but I'll read it for you in case you can't see it. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I set aside childish ways. Now we see but a dim reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. So let's dive a little bit deeper with this concept for a moment. Because as I just mentioned, where we're going to go is now we see but a dim reflection, right? Because Ernest Holmes said in Ideas of Power, I believe everything is as real as it's supposed to be. If a person hurts, he hurts. If he feels badly, he cries. There is want, lack, and apparent limitation in human experience, and there is no use denying it, but perhaps it doesn't need to be. Like that experience, but perhaps that experience doesn't need to be. Perhaps it is not what is intended to be. But when we are out of alignment, then something else comes into alignment. Lack and scarcity becomes what we're in alignment with then. Pain and poverty and depression and sadness and grief and lack and become what we are now in alignment with. Remember last week we talked about Emmett Fox saying when you are afraid, when you fear, you are worshiping that fear. That means you are now in alignment with the thing that you fear. Do you want to be in alignment with precedent or principle? Do you want to be in alignment with, quote unquote, Satan, the lies, the falsehoods about ourselves? Or do you want to be in alignment with that which is love and truth? Which one do you want to be in alignment with? One is telling you that you are no good, you're miserable, you're never going to amount to anything, no one loves you. And the other one says, you are love itself. And as you demonstrate love of and for and about yourself, then it radiates and changes the circumstances around you. And those who come to you, who come within your field of experience, must love you to the level that you have risen up in consciousness. Which one do we want to be in alignment with? So let's go back to that Bible thing for a moment. So the truth will set you free, John 8. This is a different Bible. Follow with me. As Jesus spoke these things, many believed him. So he said to the Jews who had believed him, if you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It's where this came from. When we are Abraham's descendants, they answered Jesus, we have never been slaves to anyone. How can you say we will be set free, Mr. Jesus? We ain't never been slaves. Jesus replied, truly, truly, I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Let's dissect this. Hello and welcome to Spiritual Biology 101. If you continue in my word, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. If you continue in this awareness of knowing that God is all that is, that God is made flesh as the very Word showing up, as the Word that is spoken, as the Word that is thought, as the concepts and the vision, when you continue moving forward in that which is truth, then you are truly my disciples. Disciple. An adherent, sticking fast to, an advocate, a person who publicly supports or announces, in other words, one who walks the walk. When you speak, know from this place of God being what you are, and you adhere to it and walk that walk, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You will know because you live, move, and speak from the I am presence. But we are Abraham's descendants, they answered. We have never been slaves to anyone, yada, yada, yada. And Jesus replied, truly, truly, I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Oh, everyone who misses the mark, because that's what sin means, But what this is talking about is everyone who misses the mark. In other words, everyone who believes that God can miss the mark. Follow me. Because if God is what we are, Spirit is what we are, if we believe that we can miss the mark, ultimately, then we're believing that God can miss the mark. Therefore, what we are doing is we are worshiping fear, and this does not demonstrate a practice of principle. It is choosing limitation, lack, scarcity, as though it was the truth of our being. Is that what we're choosing? Or are we choosing to abide by, to live in, continue in this power and presence of knowing what the truth of our beingness is? Anybody know who this is? Y'all know this guy? Tracy's over there spelling it. So Ganesh, or Ganesha. And in general, Ganesha is God of prosperity, wealth, abundance, but also the remover of obstacles. And I'd like to share with you, Reverend David Alt says this about his own spiritual practice. I meditate and add the word embrace to the Ganesha archetype. And in the embracing of the obstacle is alchemized. He said that's a made-up word, meaning it's transcended, it's transmuted, it's transformed, and revealed as a divine teacher. Therefore, I never remove, but fuel my innate powers of transfiguration. Thus, the obstacle is the path. Or as they say, the obstacle is also the guru. And the guru is that which is imparting the initiation of transcending appearances. So once again, it's not about setting things rightly. It's not about, per se, removing the obstacle. It's about getting into alignment and looking at the obstacle, looking at the money, looking at the relationship, looking at the situation. Look at it differently and find where is there an opportunity to change, transform, transmogrify, elevate, and evolve. So what we're trying to do is we're not trying to, quote unquote, eliminate racism. We're applying spiritual truth and principle to it so that racism dissolves into nothingness, because it is no longer the precedent that we are abiding by. And when we shift our spiritual perspective, then our emotional, our belief systems, our paradigms, all of this change. And when we change, we are the ones who created the laws, humans. When we shift and change how we show up, then in essence we are demanding a different level of consciousness from nature itself. We are now setting the temperature, setting the tone. We are composing the divine orchestra that justice, equity, liberty will then play and sing on into eternity. We choose this if we do the work. So three keys to greater knowing. 1, you are perfect as you are. There is nothing at all that needs to be changed, in essence, to make you more deserving of the abundance of life. There is nothing that you need to change, shift, because you are worth in itself. When you anchor to this and know that you are perfect just as you are, that there is no test you need to pass, that whatever the situation is, it's not showing up to punish you. Because when we say, this situation is here to test you, then that's giving in some kind of idea that there's still an anthropomorphic God that needs to test you. Because why would God need to test itself? So then what's going on? Each of us has to ask that question of ourselves, right? There is only one will, the will of God, but how that will of God is expressing in me, through me, and as me, because there is no separate will of God. The only will of God, that if we're going to talk about a separate will of God, would be infinite expansion, creation, love, magnificence. How I embody my will to go get coffee at the end of service, that's God's will, because it's my will. My will to give you all a hug when next I see you face to face, that's God's will, because it's my will. So when we recognize that there is nothing that needs to be, no test that needs to be passed, there is nothing, there's no amount of anguish you need to take on, there's no cross you need to bear, that you are worthy right now. Tattavam asi, you are it. You are divine, you are God. 2, practical step to move towards this truth. In the infinite nature of God, all conceivable good is eternally available, ready to flow into the human experience. It's already there. There's an infinite amount of dollars and cents that each one of us has access to right now. When we get into alignment with it, then it shows up. We are in the flow and as the flow itself, and it shows up. Infinite amount of love. When we're in the flow and as the flow of love itself, it shows up. Infinite amount of health and well-being. When we are in the flow and as the flow itself, it shows up. So whether it's we're shifting weight, whether it's we're living more healthy, whether it's we are attracting greater business partners to synergize with, whatever it is, when we are in the flow and as the flow itself, then it must show up. Redefine your mind. As CSL Reverend Christopher Michael says, move away from the land of hope, wish, and try. As you pass through your day, catch yourself every time you use one of these words that tend to disempower us. Rewrite the narrative by stating what is. Step into the power of you as a constant reminder that you are all powerful and can tap into this infinite with just a thought. So words have power. So if I'm thinking, oh man, I wish they would call, where am I wishing from? Am I wishing like when you wish, and do wish yoga? And cross your legs and cross your fingers. Because you're wishing and hoping and hoping and wishing and wishing and hoping and hoping Santa Claus will bring you what you want. Oh please, Santa. Oh please, God, please. I'll be a good boy if you... Is that the energy we're manifesting from? Because that's the energy of lack. So we have to catch ourselves. Where are we speaking from? Do we know? Like we could say, I want to weigh 170. That's one thing. I want to have $1 million in my savings account. I want to sell my artwork again, whatever that is, okay? That's one thing. That's what I want. Versus, I intend to create and sell my art. I intend to be a millionaire. I intend to be whatever my right and ideal body weight and live health like, whatever that is. I intend it. It's different energy. So when do we catch ourselves so that we can redefine our minds and change the narrative? Ernest Holmes said, God is universal spirit, the life principle, and intelligent energy pervading all. The writer must have been referring to a spiritual and mental likeness, not to a physical correspondence. Man, human, as the image of eternity, is made of God's stuff. Made of God's stuff. That's all there is God's stuff. And what it is showing up in, through, and as us. So let's shake off this idea of lack and limitation and move into knowing that irrigators channel waters, Fletchers straighten arrows, carpenters shape wood, the wise master themselves, the spiritually enlightened live, move, and have their beingness from a greater level. And I'm not saying it's like we have to be, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh, I'm done. I don't ever have to meditate again. Yes, yes, yes. I don't ever have to pray again. Yes, I don't ever have to sing again because I'm enlightened. Really? Because see, I love getting on roller coasters. And I'll get on a roller coaster and be like, yes, I've ridden a roller coaster and I never have to do it again. I've brushed my teeth once. That one just fell out? Oh, shoot. Like, it's an ongoing practice. So we continue to channel waters. We continue to straighten arrows. We continue to shape wood. We continue to master ourselves, our minds, our lives, our experiences on a daily basis. And one of the ways that we do so is our weekly call to action. Tracy's laughing at me.
Our weekly call to action.
So once again, because I know several of us are new today, call to action is basically your weekly homework, your call to action. And you don't have to do all of the things I list. You can pick one of them. But the idea is do your best to do at least one. What did you say?
I said at least.
At least one.
That's what you tell me every week.
Right. So for the next 24 hours, make a list of the limiting thoughts that cross your mind. Just make a list of any limiting thoughts that cross your mind. The next day, write a statement of truth regarding those limiting thoughts. For example, I can't sing becomes I can sing and I can learn to sing even better if I choose. I intend to sing. I intend to sing better. Change it to a more declarative statement of truth. I may experience, fill in the blank, I may experience allergies, and this experience does not need to define me. Principle defines me. I may experience lack and limitation occasionally, and this experience does not define me. Principle defines me. I may experience homophobia, and this experience does not need to define me. Principle defines me. Right? So identify the limiting thought, and then switch it up. 3. What is something that you want to be, do, or have, but the limiting belief is holding you back? Just marinate on what is something that you want to be, do, or have. For example, I want a relationship, but I am too old to attract the kind of person I want. I want to be a world-class spiritual educator, but I'm not as good as Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. I'm not as good as Reverend David Alt. I'm not as good as Ian Van Zandt. I'm not as good as Wayne Dyer. I'm not as good as, plus I don't have the connections or resources that they have. So that's why I can't do it now. Okay. Someone once said, if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And then lastly, what 3 things will you commit to doing, creative action, this week to affirm, to declare, and to live from the truth of your being? What 3 things will you commit to doing to do this? And yet, but wait, there's more. I want us to level up, meaning when you do one of these, I want us to start getting accountability partners. Start sharing. Start connecting with people over the phone. Send me an email, call me, text me something. Start sharing and holding each other accountable, saying, these are the limiting thoughts that I came up with. These are I'm having a difficult time writing statements of truth. Let's get together as this beloved community and raise each other up. So let's level up with this, if you are ready to do so. Today's affirmation or declaration is, I'll read it first, and then when and if you feel so aligned, I recognize the truth that the infinite expresses its divine nature in me, through me, and as me. This truth sets me free. Together, I recognize the truth that the infinite expresses its divine nature in, through me, and as me. This truth sets me free. And we breathe. We breathe in preparation because at this moment, I'm about to welcome back the amazing, beautiful, talented, exquisite, that I am so ever grateful to have crossed paths with this woman. I'm so glad that I said yes to Chapala, Mexico last year and had the chance to cross her path. So I bring back to the stage Celia. Woo! Put your hands together.
There, now you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. This song is called Bring It in the Light. Let's bring it. 'Cause I'm bringing the light, bringing the darkness for too long. Been late. I'm bringing it light by the way the song. It's the love I give. Turns to happiness. Bringing the joy. Bringing the light. Bringing the bliss. 'Cause I've been late. Been in the darkness for too long. Been late. I'm bringing it light by the way the song. It's the love I give. Turns to happiness. Bringing the joy. Bringing the light. Bringing the bliss. I'm dropping the worry. I'm dropping the shame. I'm dropping the guilt. I'm dropping the blame. I'm dropping the walls. I'm dropping the windows. Dropping the doors. I'm dropping who's wrong. I'm dropping who's right. I'm dropping my blood. I'm up and fight. I'm dropping the roof. I'm dropping the porch. I'm dropping the floors. And I'm bringing light. Been in the darkness for too long. Been late. I'm bringing the light by the way the song. It's the love I give. Turns to happiness. Bringing the joy. Bringing the light. Bringing the bliss. I'm dropping the plan. I'm dropping the plot. I'm dropping the twist me up in knots. I'm dropping the past. Prevailing over what's in store. I'm dropping the scarcity of enough. I'm dropping that constellated stuff. I'm dropping the points. I'm dropping the game. I'm dropping the score. And been late. Been in the darkness for too long. Been late. I'm bringing the light by the way the song. It's the love, love, love. Turns to happiness. Bringing the joy. Bringing the light. Bringing the bliss. And everything's gonna be fine as I let my heart's light shine. 'Cause I'm bringing in the light, been in the darkness for too long. Bringing in the light, bringing in the light by the way the song. It's the love I give, turns to happiness. Bringing in the joy, bringing in the light, bringing in the bliss. Bringing in the light, been in the darkness for too long. Bringing in the light, bringing in the light by the way the song. It's the love, 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 turns to happiness. Bringing in the joy, bringing in the light, bringing in the bliss. 'Cause I'm bringing in the joy, bringing in the light, bringing in the bliss. 'Cause I'm bringing in the joy, bringing in the light, bringing in the bliss. Yeah, I'm bringing in the bliss. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we went to church just then. Oh, oh, woo! Ooh, yes, 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 yes. Ah. Just thinking about all the ways and all the things that we're being called and invited to drop, let go. Who, especially like I always talk about, like what's going on with me, because if I'm not applying this stuff, then like why am I inviting you or asking you to do it? So this idea of dropping the DNA, the biological family, because it's toxic, and then breathing in the joy of my beloved community, breathing in the joy of my true family, my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandkids, my spiritual family and community. So at this point, because I refuse to correct. So at this point is that time in service where we talk about, no, I'm not giving you a hug, Tracy. Conscious giving or tithing. Keep in mind that there are 3 ways at this present moment that we have to tithe, give consciously, to participate in the spiritual practice called tithing, sowing. PayPal, which you can go to the website and get more information in the link. Text messaging, you can text to give. You text that number 410-873-1928. Or postal mail, you can actually you can actually write a check.
Well,
Don't know if anybody still does that. I know I still do. Write a check and send it through the postal service, and then Sue will get it and add it to the account.
well,
So you may be wondering, well, why do we do this? What's the point in tithing? And not just is it for the purpose of building this spiritual community, but it is for the purpose of why we are in spiritual community, so that we are able to do even greater and greater things, because the more we awaken humanity to each person's divine spiritual magnificence, then we understand how consciousness shifts, which means no more children like Gabriel Fernandez will be beaten and killed. No more women like Breonna Taylor will be murdered in their own homes by the police. No more children, women, and individuals will be snatched and sex trafficked. No more will any of these things occur. No more I can't breathes, hashtag. No more. Because the more we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, all of those conscious paradigms of othering and lack and fear fade away. That's why we do this. We do this so that we can continue teaching. We do this so that we can have community outreach. We do this so that we are able to be greater and greater ambassadors of love, light, and this spiritual path. So together, if you are ready, let us declare our prosperity declaration. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. So, Tracy's doing. I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to have a laugh.
Ha ha.
And sing a song.
La la la.
Learn some spiritual principles that we can apply. That our lives may now be awesome and amazing.
Be awesome
every day.
And amazing.
So at this point, we invite you, if you are staying on, well, first, make today an awesome day.
Awesome.
I don't care what the temperature is today. I don't care how hot it gets. Find joy in your day. Self-care today. Love yourself. Stay hydrated. Do what you need to do for you today.
Yes.
Love yourself up today.
Yes.
For those who are staying for the board meeting, get ready to go get you some coffee, bathroom break, get a sandwich, do something. Because before the board meeting, we're going to break off, and for those who want to do Tracy's distracting me. For those who want to do spiritual mind treatment, prayer with a practitioner afterwards, type in the chat that you are staying for prayer. If you're staying for prayer and the board meeting, then put both so we know time-wise, okay, this person's in prayer right now, but we want to wait a little bit extra time to give them time to get to the board meeting, okay? So just type in prayer if you're just staying for prayer and board meeting if you're staying for both. Cool? But keep in mind, if you want prayer at any time, like Tracy said, feel free to send an email and we will pray with you. And at this time, our closing benediction, recognizing that that which God is all there is, recognizing that the truth of what it is the truth of what I am and the truth of all that is for everyone joining in this beloved, powerful ceremony that we call gathering as beloved community. That which God is, all there is. That which love is, all there is. That which the thing itself is, one mind, life itself, living, breathing, and having its beingness individualized as every person, every plant, everything that there could ever possibly be. How amazing it is to know that this is love made flesh, that this is joy given human form, and what is true for me is true for everyone in this community. Knowing this, I surrendered into the law that always says yes with gratitude and joy, and let it be so by saying, and so it is.
So it is.
Namaste, y'all. Love you. See you soon.